Yo, what's up, guys? Today, our topic of discussion is what is the best anime group? Before we get started, make sure you give me a like and a follow, if you don't mind. Now, the first one we're taking out is the 13 Party, just because I don't think I know who that is. It seems vaguely familiar, but if I don't remember it, they must not be that good. Or maybe I don't even know who they are. Doesn't matter. Anyway, moving on. Next one out is probably the Homunculus. Some of them didn't even really have that much of a personality. They weren't that cool. Overall, they weren't that cool. Um, Next one out. This is where it starts getting a little difficult. Also, because I'm not looking at the picture while I'm recording, so I actually don't remember off the top of my head which ones are even left. So we're going to have to struggle through this a little bit. All right, I had to go look at the picture real quick. All right, so yeah, next one out, obviously Jaegers. Most of those guys were just bad people that you didn't even like, and the rest of them were okay. Um, so yeah, taking those out easy. Now is where it gets difficult. Um, so I think the next one I'm going to take out is this one's. This is tough, but I think next one out is going to be the Phantom Troop. Hear me out. The Phantom Troop is really cool. Uh, a lot of those guys are really cool characters. Um, but at the low end of that group is a bunch of characters that you really don't hear from very often. And you don't really know much about. You don't really get attached to them. I mean, spoiler alert if you're not caught up with the manga or whatever, but Cortopia, you don't really hear anything about that guy from start to finish until he gets killed by Hisoka. So, I think their group is a little top heavy, maybe. There were some characters in there that aren't that interesting overall. Moving on, the next one out is probably going to be. Oh, is it going to be the? I think it's going to be the. It's going to be the Espada. I almost said Akatsuki. Same thing with the Espada. There's a lot of really cool characters in it, and their outfits look really cool. But they're honestly, some of them really don't get that much screen time. Like Stark was a really cool character, but really the only time we've seen him was when he lost to Kiraku. So kind of an underwhelming performance a little bit, even though he was a cool character and very strong. But and some of those guys kind of stunk. Like numbers like 7 through 9 on the Espada kind of stunk. And then Yami was cool. Was he Yami or Yami? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh, oh. Anyway, like, it was cool that like they revealed that he was 10 and that he was like 0 instead of 10, like the strongest instead of the weakest. But and then he got beat so easily, it made it kind of an underwhelming reveal. Man. Anyway, um, so yeah, as cool of a group they are, we're probably going to take them out there. Next is the Akatsuki. They are, they're obviously the biggest villain group in all of like Shippuden, and really a driving force of basically the whole plot of the series. Um, but again, some of their members aren't as cool. They're carried by a lot of the more upper tier members. But there's less guys there, and like I thought Sesori kind of stunk. That's just me personally. I know a lot of people like him. I think the Zetsus were kind of lame. Uh, so yeah, but mostly they were pretty cool. Also very strong and also very integral to the story. Now the final two that are left are the One Piece Supernovas and Gourmet Core from Toriko. Now, a lot of people are pretty mad that I put Gourmet Core from Toriko above, Akatsuki, Espada, all these other groups from all these other anime. Well, I'm just going to throw it out there. Toriko is one of my favorite anime series of all time. Well, it's not really the anime that I like, it's more the manga, because the manga is obviously like a million times better, but they are really cool. And do they deserve to be number two? Probably not, because really it's really only like their top 3 or 4 members that are actually like really cool. And a lot of those guys are really forgettable and you don't really know that much about them. But I'm still putting them at number two, and just because of personal preferences. Just because it's really just me giving it to the show. Now, the number one is obviously Supernovas. Now, is One Piece my favorite show as well? So, yes, was this bias? Yes. But, I mean, unlike these other groups, what Supernova does have going for it is that the main 2 characters are on that, as well as my favorite character in the series. So you can't really top that. So I'm gonna go Supernova as the best group out of this list. Which group do you think is the best? Let me know in the comments. And again, make sure you give me a like and a follow.